I want to talk to you about virtue signaling. All right. This is a very interesting concept, relatively new to politics, maybe the last decade, 10 years. So the liberal movement in the United States has always, going all the way back to Teddy Roosevelt, the turn of the 20th century, has always positioned itself as the people who care about other people, right? Kind of Barbara Streisand, people who love people are the luckiest people in the world, whatever she was singing. And she's a big lefty. So the liberal movement, they have based their point of view of life on helping the downtrodden, all right? And being kind and compassionate and merciful and all of that. And that's good. That's good. Okay? Because if you're a Christian or many other religions, you're compelled to help other people, to treat them as you want to be treated, to be kind to the poor and all of that. However, you can use your mercy as a weapon. And you can hurt people in the process of being sensitive and being virtuous. Now, that's what I'm going to explain. Supreme Court ruled that you cannot, all right, hire or accept people into colleges based on skin color. Affirmative action. Can't. Okay, you can't say we're going to take this percentage of this percentage of that. Supreme Court said violates the Constitution. So the liberal movement, outraged by that decision, said, okay, we're going to disguise it. We're not going to call it affirmative action anymore. We're going to call it diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. And that's how we're going to get around the Supreme Court ruling. So we'll still have preferences based on gender and skin color and all the things that the Supreme Court say, no, it's got to be merit. We'll do it, and we'll try to signal this as something that's kind, okay? And that we're noble for doing it. That's the point of view. And now the Trump administration is knocking out all the DEI. Let me give you an example of a person who I believe is sincere, but who is espousing DEI with every fiber of her body. She's an actress named Eva Longoria. Roll it.
We have to remember why DEI was created, and it was to correct historical exclusion.
That's right.
Which is not just about being Latino and Black. It's women, it's disabled, it's a lot
LGBTQ+.
of marginalized LGBTQ+. It's a lot of marginalized communities that never get to tell their stories.
All right, so Eva wants to correct historical exclusion by excluding people who don't fit in the DEI. So she's taking a wrong historical exclusion, and then she's trying to correct it with another wrong. What's a cliche? Two wrongs don't make a right. So let me give you a very vivid example. My own son was denied entry into Boston College. He was qualified, but it's a DEI woke school. And they took one look at this white kid, Irish Catholic. I'm sure they knew who his father was. And again, nah, we don't want him. So who got hurt? My son was qualified to go there. It worked out better for him because he went to Salve Regina University in Rhode Island and prospered, as I knew he would. Honest boy, hardworking, all of that. No merit at Boston College. Shocking, it's a Jesuit school, but not if you understand the Jesuit mentality. Pope Francis was a Jesuit. Okay. Now, I would ordinarily not ever say that because I keep my family private, but my son got hurt. I saw it. And I said, look, don't worry about it. There's a greater good driving you, somebody watching out for you. And that's exactly what happened. Went to Oxford, tremendous experience, okay, on his way. So, what do? I didn't do anything. I could have gone after Leahy, the president Father Leahy of Boston College. I could have, but I didn't. But it was wrong. It should have been a meritocracy. Same thing happened in my old college, Marist in Poughkeepsie, New York. They have a vice president of DEI there. And they just do a head count. And that's not what that school was in business to do. It was everybody, working class. Everybody gets evaluated. Now, if I'm an admissions officer for any college, and I get an application from a poor family, because you have to put down, if you're looking for aid, how much your family makes, I give that some preference. If the poor kid is, excelling in high school, that's big. That's like playing lacrosse and being a starter. Okay? In my mind, that's huge. You overcome poverty, I don't care what color you are. That's a big plus. Okay. But Ms. Longoria doesn't seem to mind that she wants to correct the historical exclusions, but other people are suffering because of the correction. Innocent people. And then you have the people who feel sorry for miscreants, particularly drug addicts, that are causing mayhem from coast to coast in this country. These drug addicted people are hurting other people. But the left, no, we have to be sympathetic. No, they're not. They can do whatever they want. This is a discussion I had this week. Go.
I think we need to isolate why are they using drugs. I mean, that's why we
what?
do.
What do you mean why? They're using it because they want to get high. That's why they're using it. They want to get intoxicated. I don't care whether they had a bad childhood. All right?
Well, I mean, it may not be our problem, but we can be human towards them and fund that problem, because we know that trauma,
waste the money,
the abuse, those things are
waste the money.
If we can solve the root problems, we can.
You can't solve the root problem. This is like migration. You can't solve the root problem. The root problem is they're poor in Honduras. We're wealthy. That's the root problem. Ask Kamala Harris. She was in charge of the root problem. The root problem of taking drugs is weakness, cowardice. These people are weak. They want to get high. They don't want to live in the real world. That's what drives me crazy, because we as a country won't admit it. And who suffers because of that? How about children? Millions of American children are neglected and abused by substance abusers, not just drug addicts, but alcoholics. If your parents are addicted to substance, they can't raise you. I mean, the stats are unbelievable. How many children are getting hurt by these people? And then you go to the homeless camps and you look and see the behavior. In the middle of cities where kids are going to school and people are shooting heroin up in their neck and stealing to fund their habit and prostituting themselves and spreading disease, on and on and on and on and on. Oh, wait, hold it. These people, and it says on my stat sheet that about 30 million admit to being drug addicts. I think it's twice that number in America. These people, they don't have a right to hurt other people in pursuit of their inebriation. Yeah, they may have a disease. Okay, that's fine. Get cured. Walk in. But most of them don't want, according to every single drug counselor I've ever spoken to. Most drug addicts do not want to go to rehab. They like whatever they're doing outside, and they don't care who they hurt. Believe me, they don't care. The prisons are populated mostly by drug addicts. And we're talking about violent crimes, too. We're talking about selling fentanyl to children. But our society, oh, no, we can't punish them. We can't force them off the street. We can't do that. Bull. This is, and again, virtue signaling, misguided sympathies. And the guy that I was interviewing, he's a good man. Oh, we got to get to the root problem. Come on, live in the real world. All right? You're never going to get in the root problem. It's weakness. You can overcome the weakness. And it takes a lot of guts to go into rehab. And the people who have succeeded, I admire them. I give money to them, to clinics that help them. But let's stop with the virtue signaling, okay? Because you're virtuous, you don't put in one program that hurts other innocent people. I think that's fair. If you want more of my commentary, BillO'Reilly.com is a place to do it. We hope you check that out. We are always grateful that you listen to us, consider what we have to say. If you want to reach me, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.